Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today we are going to be renovating Johnny Zest's trailer in the world of Oasis Springs. If you're not familiar with Johnny, he is the son of the land grabs who has been disowned. He's a young adult in the entertainer career, and he has 2 skill points in comedy with a aspiration of becoming a joke star. This is his little home here. It is a small trailer home that is a little bit tall and kind of sparsely decorated with kind of weird choices. So when you first walk in, you're in a little hallway. There is a small kitchen right off of the entryway. I love the shape of this. Some of the color choices are a little bit strange in like the placement of furniture, and then the living room is also a little bit odd. But I did want to keep some of the same vibes, so you'll see that in the speed build portion. And then we have a bathroom over here and his bedroom. So that is what we are working with. Let's get into the renovation. So starting outside, getting rid of a lot of the landscaping. I wanted to see how much we could get back in money to go ahead and use towards this renovation. I do end up making the house a little bit smaller and getting rid of a lot of the stuff that is outside, but I feel like it ends up working out really nicely in the end. I do end up using some free landscaping from Show Live Edit Objects, and as you can probably tell from the title of this video, this is another installment of the series where I am renovating base game, only using the base game to do so. So there is a playlist linked down below if you'd like to check out other parts of this series. I believe this is only the second one that I have done for townies. I already renovated the goth household only using base game, and all of the other ones I've done, I'm pretty sure, are vacant homes. So if you have any suggestions of which house I should renovate next, definitely leave those down in the comments. So the original color of the foundation here and the stairs and the wood and everything is actually a green, but to me it looked more blue in the lighting, so I actually end up changing it to blue, and the outside of the house changes a few different times. I cut out most of that footage so it wouldn't be frustrating to see me change my mind so many times, but I was a bit indecisive on the colors because I didn't want to keep the weird like periwinkle, I don't even know if that's the correct color, like the weird purpley color that was on the exterior, but I did like the idea of having some sort of blue on the exterior, and I wanted to keep some of the red furniture inside. So I tried to be inspired by some of the original items but change it up and try to make it a little bit better. But right now I am just swapping out a bunch of windows. I ended up using primarily the shuttered windows throughout the build, and in the front I thought about creating this bay window section in the bedroom. I do get rid of that towards the end of the build. It's gonna stay there for a little while, so just ignore that. I liked the idea of it, but in practice I didn't think it looked as good. This was such a fun build to renovate. I have renovated this home before and built new homes for Johnny Zest. I just think he's a really fun sim to create spaces for and renovate for, but this is my first time doing it only using the base game, so definitely refreshing and different, and it's just been a really fun thing to turn this into a series. I did one build and pretty much immediately everyone was like, can you do more? And thank you for that feedback. It's been a fun thing to go back and do, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, moving inside now and starting to figure out what furniture pieces I want to change. I also am changing the wallpaper and the carpeting. I did decide to keep carpet in here. I thought it was more realistic in not only smaller, cheaper homes like this, but in pretty much every place I've ever lived in my entire life. I have not really had hardwood floor. With the exception of one of the homes I lived in as a child, my parents, after years of living there, had the floors redone in one room in our house. So we had hardwood in one room. Everywhere else was carpet. So I tend to like to do it occasionally in game when I'm looking for more realistic spaces because it's my lived experience, but I also use a lot of hardwood floors because they're just so nice, and I dream to have them someday because I have gross carpet in my apartment and I have 4 pets, so you know, I would like to not have carpet. But anyway, one of my favorite things I did in this living room was adding this rug over the carpet. It is, of course, base game, and it's not one I use very often, but it really matched the colors that I felt like I was seeing in the original home. And I wanted to bring some of that in without having the bright red sofa that I didn't really like. I thought bringing it in through a rug made more sense. So that's what I decided to do. I did keep the guitar and the microphone in this space since they relate to Johnny's interests and his career. I wanted to make sure those stayed in this space. I kept a couple of random items that were originally here. Another one is the side table right here that is like a crate. I thought that was kind of fun. And then we are just getting a coffee table. I actually used an outside table for this. because I wanted a smaller one. And then, of course, filling up the wall over here with a bookcase. We're going to get some paintings leaning against one of the walls as well. And I changed my mind a couple of times on the color of that sofa. I don't remember if it stays blue or if it stays beige. But in the kitchen here, I am just getting a nice backsplash, also from Base Game, and I love the blue color. I just had a lot of fun trying to insert colors in different ways in this build without really changing the entire vibe of the inside. I feel like I still captured what I feel like Johnny would decorate like and keeping it within the budget as well. So it leaves him with less money to start with. Like he's not going to have as many funds to go out and do things with, but his home I think is a little bit nicer than it was before. And it was interesting trying to figure out which ways were the best to save some of that money to put it towards the interior, like deleting the underside of the stairs, getting rid of the trim that was on the roof piece, and deleting some of the items outside as well. And I did end up actually upgrading other things. Like in the bathroom here, I decided to get a different sink, some actual cabinetry. We get a shower tub combo instead of a standing shower. And these are all things you could save money on if you want to change them to a cheaper option, if you'd like to give him a little bit more money back. But I thought it would be nice to just upgrade some of these things. I didn't want them to look brand new. They still have a older look to them. Like this was a still cheaper home that has been here for a long time, but I felt like I was able to make it look more cozy and more like a home, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, this is his bedroom. I used the same bedding that his original bed had, but he had a single bed, so I gave him a double bed. And then I also painted the walls in here blue to bring in more of that color that was on the exterior, which I'm actually going to paint the entire exterior blue. Spoiler alert. Right now it's like beige, but I decided I wanted to bring back the blue. It was more of a purple before, but there was a blue foundation, and I decided it would be nice to just paint the whole exterior blue. So you'll see that in a little while. I also kept this painting that he had in his bedroom. I think it's a silly one, and I just thought it would be a fun thing to keep. I believe I also keep this table and chairs. It stays outside though. I changed the colors of it a couple of different times. You can see I just kind of like shoved everything over in the corner of the lot that I wasn't sure where I was placing it. And then I'm working on the landscaping, getting a variety of palm trees as well as some other trees that I'm seeing in the environment. These are all from the Live Edit Objects menu, so they are free. I was able to fit that into the budget. Actually, there's a couple of items that were like a couple of simoleons, so you can see these rocks were $4. I placed those down too, but it didn't really alter the budget that much. I just wanted to make sure I could make this lot feel complete, even though the house is only taking up a very small portion of it. I also got some of these planters, which I thought were really fun. They are also debug, so your Sims can't interact with them, but it looks like you're growing some more flowers. And then I do have a couple of planters out here as well for Johnny to use and grow whatever he'd like. I also added a telescope, which is pretty expensive. That's an item you could definitely get rid of to get a little bit of simoleons back. And then this is where I am getting rid of that portion in the front and adding 2 of these windows instead. I really liked how that looked, especially with having the like the roof portion of the painting on the front be the vertical slats versus the horizontal ones on the rest of the build. And I'm going to change the color of the shutters to be black instead of brown and add a couple last finishing touches. But that is pretty much it for this build. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Also, a massive thank you to my YouTube members for all of your support. If you'd like to become a member yourself, you can click the link in the description or the join button below the video. Enjoy the screenshots, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye, everyone.